Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th episode of Question of Money. Unlike our previous episodes, today we have decided to take some questions from our viewers on personal finance and how to manage money. To answer all the questions, we have with us Aarati Krishnan. Welcome ma'am to today's episode. So we have a very interesting question. It's coming from Sanjana, and she's asking, how do I invest when I do not have a regular and reliable source of income?
That's a very good question because most of the investment products out there are designed with the assumption that people have a regular salaried income. So, but you do have options if your income is quite bumpy and not very predictable. Firstly, I suggest you open a sweep account with the bank so that whenever you have an excess balance, the balance will automatically get debited and a fixed deposit will be created in your name. Now, as you know, savings bank accounts usually give you only 3 to 4% interest, but FDs can give you 7.5%. So, sweep account will ensure that whatever surplus you have is plowed into a FD from time to time. Besides that, there are many investment options that allow you to put in lump sums. So, when you have more money, you can put money, or if you do not have so much, you can actually reduce it. So, fixed deposits with banks or NBFCs, post office schemes like national savings certificates, all of this allows lump sum investments. Mutual funds also, you can put in lump sum investments as and when you have money. But what I would suggest is that even if your income is very lumpy, you have a minimum target for your savings and investing every month. Suppose you feel that the minimum you will earn in any month is say 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, even with that you can start a recurring deposit or a SIP, and you should do it in order to make sure that you have a savings habit.
One of our viewers, Hari, he has asked this question, how should your income ideally be divided into different components? That's rent, groceries, investment and so on.
It's very hard to give a thumb rule here because I know you people must be aware rents for a 2 BHK in Bangalore can be 50k, yes. Something like that in Chennai can be 25k, something in a smaller city may be even less. So, if I tell you the quota for your rent is only 25% of your salary, you may not be able to stick to it. So, what I would roughly say is don't spend more than half your salary on rent because that will really squeeze out your other expenses. For groceries etc., a lot depends on your eating habits, whom you are sharing with etc. So, what I would say is you keep a fixed target for your investments. So, make sure you are saving 15 or 20% of your salary every month and investing it. The remaining, how you split between rent, groceries etc., can be left to you. By saving before you spend, you will be making sure that you are not completely overdrawing on your salary and you will always have some money set aside.
Another viewer, Gopal, he has asked this question, what is the difference between small cap, mid cap and large cap, and which one should I choose?
Right. Large cap, mid cap and small cap comes into the picture when you are actually investing in the stock market or when you are investing in mutual funds. Now, SEBI has categorized equity funds, which are the stock market funds, into 3 categories based on large cap, mid cap and small cap. Now, what is this cap? It is not the cap you wear. It is actually how the market values a particular stock. The market capitalization, which is shortened into cap, market capitalization of a stock is the total number of shares that the company has issued multiplied by its current market price.
Okay.
So, simply if you say market cap of Zomato is 1 lakh crore, it shows that the market is valuing this company at this level.
Okay.
So, when you say large cap stocks, these are the top 100 stocks in the market based on this market value. So, these are the largest companies out there or the companies that the market really likes. Then comes the mid cap, which is the next 150 stocks in the market by market value. These are the sort of mid-tier companies. They could be smaller companies which have grown a bit and are aspiring to be large caps, or they could be sort of demoted from the large cap and they have become mid caps, right? Then there are small caps, which is all the rest of the stocks beyond the top 250 going by the SEBI definition. Now, why this categorization comes is when you invest in the largest companies in the market, they are the safer bets because you know size always brings a certain safety. These companies are able to borrow at low rates, they are well known, lot of investors want to invest in them etc. So if you want a slightly safer bet within equities, stocks which are not so volatile, etc., then you should go for large caps. If you are willing to take a little bit of risk, then mid caps. Small caps are quite risky because the companies themselves will have a lot of volatility in their income, etc., and the stock price will be even more volatile. So based on how your risk profile is, you should first choose large caps, go a little bit into mid caps thereafter, and small caps last of all.
Okay. Okay. So another question, I think this is something that many of our youngsters would be interested or keen to know about. So that is Sneha, she is the one who has asked this question. She says that my salary is 34,750.
Right.
I need close to 30,000 for my living, including rent.
Yeah.
I can save only 5,000 in a month.
Right.
How can I divide this into different types of savings such as SIP, insurance and so on?
Right. 5,000 out of 35 is not such a bad level of saving because it is about 14%, and I mentioned a 15 to 20% target. It's not a bad level of saving at all. So first she should realize that it's not a bad number to have. Of course in future she can improve it if her income rises. So I think with this, as I said in a previous video, the first thing you should do is to actually build an emergency fund, which means that I feel this 5,000, I have said that emergency fund should be about 6 months equivalent of expenses. So in her case it comes to 1,80,000 rupees. So she should keep investing 5,000 in FDs until she gets to this 1,80,000. Then she'll have a neat emergency fund put away in case of any problems, right? Thereafter, she can start deciding based on her goals whether she wants to invest in FDs, whether she wants to go for riskier things like equity funds, SIPs and things like that. But I think in the first 6 months, she should build up this emergency fund. Thereafter, she can start investing, and she should remember, having started with 5,000, she should not be investing only 5,000 all her life. She should keep increasing it with her income as it rises.
Okay, got it. Agil has asked this question that he has a health insurance and it is offered by his company and it is around 3 lakhs for 3 lakhs cover, and he is 24 years old. And now he doesn't have any significant health issues, but his parents are like telling him, forcing him to take a health insurance other than what the company is offering. So what would be your suggestion?
Right, for a youngster of 24 without health issues, I think 3 lakh is quite an adequate cover. Only if his parents want him to cover them also under a say an office floater policy or something, it makes sense to take more. Otherwise, I feel he is quite fine with 3 lakhs. With health, I think his parents are misunderstanding the nature of insurance. When you take life insurance when you are in your 20s, then it's very cheap and you can get a 1 crore cover for even 15,000. So suppose you take a life insurance cover at 24 or something, for your life you continue to pay the same premium of 15,000 rupees for a 1 crore cover. But medical insurance is not like that. With medical insurance, your premium can change every year based on your age or changing health conditions. So there is no benefit to his taking an extra cover when he is very young for health. So he can make do with 3 lakh. So if his parents are really worried about some emergency coming up and 3 lakh not being enough, then what he should do is just invest say 1,000 rupees per month in an FD or some emergency fund, so that that amount will be available to him in case he falls ill and needs that extra money. This way he will not be paying the money to the insurance company, it will be with him. So he can use it for whatever purpose if he doesn't need it.
The next question, it's coming from Anlin, and she has asked, is it mandatory to invest a huge sum in stocks for beginners, or can I start investing by amounts such as 500,000? She basically wants to say, can she invest in small amounts?
Right. So if you are a beginner, actually you should not be investing directly in stocks at all, because with stocks it's a very hit or miss process. The stock that you pick can do well or it can fail and you can lose 40-50% of your money also. Therefore, if you are going to invest, actually want to invest in the market, actually it is better to do investments in an equity fund with this 500 or 1,000. If you invest in a single stock and that fails to deliver, then you will be put off equity forever. That's not a good thing to happen, because in the long run you do have to be in equities. So I suggest you put the small amount into a well chosen equity fund If you are not sure how to choose an equity mutual fund, you can go for an index fund that tracks the Nifty 50 or Nifty 100, and that can deliver very good returns over the long run. Why I am suggesting a fund over an individual stock is, a fund has a professional fund manager who picks a basket of stocks that he owns. Because of diversification, he owns lot of stocks. So, even if a few stocks fail, the others will do well and compensate, and you can earn a return. So, with a small amount, I do not at all suggest going directly into stocks. I suggest investing in equity mutual funds, especially if you are a beginner. So, I hope those replies were quite useful to the people who asked them. Do keep those questions coming in, because we will be trying to take your questions in future episodes as well.